Y'all, so Shamea said, bring it. Bring it, K Michelle. Bring it. Bring it, baby. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. It really makes me wonder what went down at the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17 reunion that taped yesterday. But I want you guys to note something. This interview that Shamea did with Decider was actually done pre reunion while Shamea was out doing press. So this is a collaboration between Decider and Page Six, featured on Mr. Housewives' Instagram page. Be sure to follow Mr. Housewives because they also have a great podcast as well. So what I did was I went back and I watched the full interview with Shamea, and it's about 9 minutes long. And you can glean from it what you will for yourself, but I'll give you the rundown for those of you guys who don't mind being spoiled, because I got to give you what's going on in the actual interview that's highlighted everywhere. Okay, so first, as Shamea does get into the K Michelle of it all, this is after having spoken about Portia and Angela. The interviewer does ask questions about Portia to start with. And she wants to know basically what was in those text messages. Shamea does not give us the tea on those text messages just yet. But she gives us more of, it was the sign, she's kind of giving the sign language of it all, right? So she doesn't give the details of the text here, but she goes on to state that she really could care less about what is going on with the friendship if no one wants to come to the table with regards to resolve. Last season, she went into the reunion because she wanted to go into the reunion quiet because she was hoping that she could salvage the friendship. Something that Shamea says is very interesting, though. And I think what she may be feeling right now and seeing is an Uno reverse, so to speak. And where Shamea comes from with her desire to be a loyal friend, in reality, I don't mind it, right? But the problem is because there were cracks in that friendship, it backfired on her, right? So at some point in the interview, she does state that she's the type of friend that she has two different sides to her, right? One side of her, and I had to glean this from her conversation, is that she can be friends with people who are not necessarily friends with each other. And I do believe that. But with someone she's extremely close with, she will be a ride or die. Like, you don't like them, I don't like them. And I will, and I'm paraphrasing here, get that person on my friend's behalf, which we saw with Drew and Shamea on behalf of Portia. Now, the reason I call this an Uno reverse is because the reverse is happening this season. In my opinion, I feel like because Drew felt like she was on the receiving end of that, maybe she is doing to Shamea what she felt like Shamea did to her. Maybe, right? Now, it also could be, I've also given you guys my opinion on the Angela of it all. And we'll talk about Angela right now before we get all the way into the K Michelle of it. Shamea wants the names of the players that she allegedly slept with and receipts at the reunion, which we know filmed yesterday. Okay? She says that Angela's receipts don't land just like they didn't with Phaedra. She says, is this what you do? You made these accusations, or you came to the table with these accusations about Phaedra, saying that you heard that she was the one who had planted the guy in terms of coming to the Kelly's event with all this tea on Charles, right? So what she is questioning here is, like, is this a pattern for you? Because now you are bringing up these Atlanta Hawks and Falcons players, and she indicates that there is another name or someone else that gets tossed into this when they go to Scotland. So here's what we also know about that is that she revealed in a previous interview that she was forced to get a cease and desist for Angela because, listen, if you're not going to name the names, then just stop talking. Okay. And I'm going to say this. I've told y'all how I felt about this part of the shows, and I felt this way for quite some time now, is that when y'all bring up these types of accusations and y'all don't like have no receipts or nothing like that, then what's the point? Like, we don't, the audience doesn't have, most of y'all know, like, I will see people in the comments, when y'all don't believe it, but y'all just don't like Shamea, so it's okay, right? I don't really think it's cool for anybody to do that. Like, it's just crazy to me. And it doesn't make for good TV, right? It just doesn't. In my opinion, it's tired, it's played out, it's just old. So I don't know about that one. And I'm kind of on the Shamea side with that one. But I do feel like Shamea is getting a little bit of her own Uno reverse. Okay. And we got some Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion tea, so stick around because you want to get that too. Like some things that maybe, well, some things that are being said about the reunion. So we'll touch on that. All right. So then she, of course, lists Phaedra as an example of Angela. Oh, this is what you did. This is what they said you did. It was you. To this season, I'm sorry. That was a real quick turnaround on it. That was a quick turn. That was like a 1-2. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? So she's basically saying, is this your pattern? Is this what you do? Right? So then that's when we get to the K Michelle of it, because the interviewer asked, well, the interviewer says this pretty, and the interview is verbatim. Like, well, I'm gonna give you paraphrase, but verbatim. The interview was like, I did not like what happened to you at the end of the last episode, where it seemed like everybody was basically taking a shot at you. And then I was super surprised that K Michelle joined in on that. Well, K Michelle didn't technically join in on that, but we know that K Michelle is feeling some type of way. Now, Shamea's response is, I mean, listen, bring it. And she says that maybe K Michelle took what Portia said in the Carlos King interview to heart and decided that maybe K Michelle decided that she picked the wrong team and is now trying to work her way back into Portia's good graces. Maybe that's it. She was like, I don't know, because I really like K Michelle, but she's like, I don't know. I don't know where this is coming from. Now, what I saw in the episode, Kay's positioning on this was interesting to me because she too likes Shamea. And so Kay doesn't necessarily add on to the pileup that is happening in that moment. She has her own issues with Shamea, which I respect that she wants to deal with them like on her own. And I don't know if that's going to be in private, but at least just not right now while everybody else is taking their shot at Shamea. I've told y'all I don't get a lot of y'all's vitriol towards Shamea, because while I do think that she's made some grave missteps, I don't really think that she has done anything that has been any worse than some of these other ladies have done over the history of this show. Okay? I don't. I really don't. And so I have to wonder to myself, what is it specifically that y'all really just don't like about her? It makes me wonder. It just makes me wonder. Why is everyone so dead set against her? And again, Shamea don't do the best job of defending herself. Lord knows she don't. Okay. And she don't always help herself. She put her foot in, I feel like she be making the wrong moves sometimes too, but I don't have the same level. I don't have that level of like dislike for her like some of y'all. And I just wonder where that comes from, when I don't think that she has done any worse than a lot of other people on this show have done. I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's get to the reunion. Reunion T, Pinky Cole says her brain is exhausted. Someone says, Pinky, how was the reunion for your first time? She says, read my caption slow. Okay. But Andy Cohen says this.
We just wrapped. I gotta tell you, I've not had that much fun at a reunion in a long time. Atlanta is back.
So he doesn't seem like this was emotional. It doesn't give that. He makes it seem like this was fun. So I am curious to see how things turn out and where everybody lands on this. I really, really am. Like, who gave what? What is the color scheme? I'm looking at Andy's suit. And I don't know. Let's see if we can go to his page. Let me see if I can pull his page up. I mean, he didn't really giving no indication. Except right here. So that's really all we got from Andy. Mr. Andy, as K Michelle says, Mr. Andy. I wonder if she called him Mr. Andy yesterday. Anyway, y'all, that's the tea that we got for y'all for right now. Make sure you guys keep it locked to the channel. Again, y'all tap into that faceless content class. It is down in the description and in the first link in the comment section. With that being said, I'll catch you in the next video.